Good evening, everybody. This is Brett Ramsden, Vice Chairman of the Sewer Commission, filling in for John Reynolds, who is otherwise recovering from surgery, and we send him our hopes and prayers of a quick recovery. I would like to ask everybody to be aware of the fact that we are being recorded, and would like to start the meeting with saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I have a flag here for us, and could I ask Mike Nault to start us off, please?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sir. And all right, so to get the legal jargon out of the way, in accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting of the Sewer Commission is being recorded and will be able to be found on the Lunenburg Access YouTube channel after the meeting. The following information is provided for members of the public that would like to participate in the meeting remotely. To participate remotely from a computer, please use the link to join the public meeting webinar found on the posted agenda. If you have not registered with Zoom, you would be asked for your name and email address. No participant ID is needed. Just press pound when asked. I will do a roll call to confirm all the members that are present. Please say here when I call your name. Dave McDonald.
Here.
Mike Nault.
Here.
Mike is not present, and neither is John Reynolds. Calling the staff, Bill Bernard.
Here.
And Barbara LaFarve.
Here.
And I understand Jane is working the polls tonight.
Yes. Thank you, Jane.
All right. Thank you, Jane. Looking for any public comment from the public. I don't see any. Do you, Barbara?
I do not.
Okay. Is there any public comment from commissioners or staff?
Mr. Chair, I just want to remind people tonight is voting night, and that's where Jane is. I saw Jane this afternoon. Great turnout so far, but you still got time. You got 2 more hours before the poll closes. So if you haven't gone, don't listen to us. Get down there and vote.
Thank you, Mr. Dave. And then do we have any announcements that need to be mentioned? Seeing none.
Brett,
Yes.
Brett,
I just had that the commissioners' emails have now upgraded or been migrated over to the lunenburgma.gov emails, and to update anybody's address books accordingly.
Barbara, is
Yes,
everybody on my .gov now? Like school people?
Schools are on a lunenburgschools.net
.net. Okay.
email,
And why did we switch to .gov?
but everybody, employees and commissioners, boards, everyone else is on the lunenburgma.gov.
Got it. All right, is anybody else having trouble logging on? I found out I couldn't tonight.
Same thing. I had to update before it let me in.
All right, well, moving on to current business. We're going to be jumping right on the Pondview 40B discussion. There's obviously a hearing for anyone that's unaware of it. There's a hearing tomorrow night at 7 p.m. In person or via Zoom. We have received a new peer review estimate from Wright Pierce. Did everyone have a chance to review that and get a look at that?
Yes.
And, so we're going to make that the topic of discussion right now. It seems pretty realistic to me. They have a cap of 7,500. And I know it's up to ZBA to forward their recommendation, and that the building, the people building the development would be paying for it. Does anyone have any comments in that area?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, it's not a cap, it's a number of 75. Without seeing what the applicant has, he put an hourly rate on. Could be more, could be less, but it's not a cap. It all depends on how good the engineers are that the applicant hires. So the better his engineer, the better our peer review will go. I want to thank Wright Pierce for making it clearer for us to read, and I thought it was a pretty good letter. Bill, what do you think? Was the second one better?
Yeah, it was much simpler. It's right to the point. Yeah. I think it's what we want to present.
Yeah, I appreciate your input on it too. But Mr. Chair, I think that letter was pretty good. I think the sewer commission though probably has a little bit more in our budget for it than what the letter says. I think the last time we talked to the ZBA, we said it's going to be about 20 grand. And again, without seeing anything, you might as well take a dart and just, so
All right,
more to come, I guess is the answer to that one.
sounds
That will
right.
not come out of our budget.
Well, I mean, we put it to the side. We're supposed to get reimbursed for it.
It is paid for by the applicant. We may contract with Wright Pierce separately, but the peer review is paid for by the 40B applicant.
And Mr. Chair, the last time I went to the last meeting, it was basically they were looking at other items in the meeting tomorrow night. I know they want to start bringing up fee structures. So if you guys are around, maybe at least watch it. You can watch it on Zoom. It'll be interesting how that's going to work out. Bob, I don't know if they're going to go really too much involved with the peer review tomorrow night.
Yeah, I don't know. They're talking about the civil engineering review mostly tomorrow. Sewer and water are still on the agenda for the hearing, but it may be just the discussion of the districts. I'm not sure,
Interesting.
but we have it ready for them, should they need it.
Mr. Chair, you got to thank Bill and Bob and Paula for getting this information together for the ZBA. I know that we, as a commission, have done a lot more than other departments, I feel, as far as giving the ZBA as much information and accurate information as we can. So thank you to Bill and Barb and Paula.
Yes, thank you all. And due diligence is hopefully going to save the day. Certainly going to, the more information available, the more information they have to work with and present the reality of what those people are up against. So, and is there anybody planning to make it to the hearing tomorrow?
You know, I don't know if I can make it. Barbara, what time's the meeting start tomorrow? I don't have the agenda.
It's at 7 p.m. The
That's
hearing.
it. It's 7. I might do a Zoom. I just don't know what my schedule is tomorrow.
Well, that's all
Barbara,
right.
Barb, you going to be on?
I'll try to get on Zoom too.
I'm going to try and get on Zoom myself and catch it. If not, I'd love to at least follow up with it and at a later date. Should be on YouTube, I assume.
Tomorrow's meeting should be interesting. I mean, if you're going to watch any meeting, I think tomorrow is going to be a good one just because if they talk about fees.
Excellent. All right. So next on the agenda to talk about is the upcoming special town meeting, November 15th at 7 p.m. at Lunenburg Middle High School. They'll be talking about the sewer articles, 6 for transfer to the stabilization fund for reserve capacity, unused funds of $1,645.60, and the sewer article 7 for transfer of stabilization fund for sewer bank unused funds of $9,900. Retained earnings at the moment, we were certified at 2.2 million. And does anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, if I can, Bob, have you got the schedule for the consent agenda? Are we on a consent agenda?
I have not. I haven't even gotten a regular warrant booklet either. Have you? Have you?
I got the booklet just the other day, but I don't know. Can you check tomorrow or send an email to Heather and find out?
Sure.
Because, Mr. Chair, if the select board voted our warrants into the consent agenda, then you really don't have anything. It's going to be just a quick question and vote. Otherwise, you would have to explain what the warrants are.
Yeah, I figured this was going to be kind of a rubber stamp situation, but
Not necessarily. I mean, that's up to the board, and somebody can always take something out of the consent agenda if they wanted to, but I don't think our articles are so controversial. Do you, Barb?
No, this is fairly, very cut and dry. It's unused funds that we collected for one purpose, and that was either the reserve capacity or the sewer bank that were unused in FY '22 now that the year has closed. So we're just we're putting it into a stabilization fund. So there should not be much debate about it. It's just, we're just put our money in for safekeeping. That's it.
But Mr. Chair, I think the board voted on it, but I didn't watch the last select board meeting, but Heather should have sent you out an email if she did, so we'll find out.
very good. All right.
And Brett, may I just interject too?
Yes, please.
Retained earnings is separate from the special town meeting agenda item, and that's just on there that Karen, the town accountant, had advised that our retained earnings were certified now that she has closed out FY '22. And we have a certified balance of $2,232,978. So that was just a FYI so that you're aware of our balance.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for informing us of that. Next up is actually our business manager's retirement effective of 4/3/23. And Barbara, you're really going to leave us this time?
Really am.
Ah,
Won't be that
breaking
way.
our- You're breaking our hearts, but
I'm sorry.
that's quite all right.
It'll be a whole new world for me, believe me.
Well, nobody's earned it more. So we
Still 6
can't
months
thank you.
away, guys. Don't cry yet. We can talk her into staying.
We'll work on it. We got a few months yet.
Still 6 months, a half a year.
That's
Right.
right. That's right. It's not over yet, lady.
That's right.
But all right, folks. Has everybody reviewed the minutes from 10:25? I would like to discuss any changes needed, and otherwise, I would like to ask for someone to
Make a motion.
put a motion to vote to approve them. Thank you.
I did review them, and I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from 10/25/22.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor? Mike Knoll,
Aye.
Dave McDonald,
Aye.
and I for myself. And then now we are moving back to Barbara for the business manager's report. Barbara, the floor is yours.
All righty. Just grease traps are on there just to give you a status. All the first Tuesday reports are in for October. All very much within 7 days of the deadline, which is pretty near a record. That's just great. I did want to just give you an update on Whalum I&I investigations. We did discuss with council different options on reducing the I&I. One of them would be to camera the lines on these homes that have what we think are still the clay pipes. Council did not have Any issues with it? As Bill had said in the last meeting, the right of entry form would have to be filled out. It would spell out any liabilities, that we aren't responsible for, yada, yada. So council was fine. The only issue is that our regulations as they stand at the moment do not quite state that we have the right to demand they are. I showed you, I think at the last meeting, that Fitchburg has that clause in their chapter 147. So what I would propose is that we get that into our policies. We do the public hearing to accept the policies, and then shortly thereafter, we just go out and start and do the camera job. But it may be a quick way to determine who still may have clay pipes in that Whalum area.
So, Mr. Chair, if I can through you, can we camera anyways now for investigation reading? Just to find out, say we pick 10 houses, and this might be a question for Bill. Say you pick 10 houses up in the Whalum district. Just so that we know if there's a problem or not. I still agree with what we should do. We should open that up for corrective actions and have the policy change. But we still have a right to look and see if there's any, maybe we're following a wild goose chase. I don't know. But it'd be nice to sample a couple of suspected houses and see if there really is an I&I problem. Maybe it's
Agreed.
related somewhere else.
We need to start somewhere because it's out of control.
Yeah. Bill,
I think
what's your
that's-
thoughts, Bill?
So, well, I might have to defer to Barb on this one. Barb, what do our regs say? Can we do an inspection? Is that what council said?
We have the right to, I know we've got the right for the house inspection. So I know we can inspect. It's just the outcome of that we demand that we have the right to say your pipes are not in acceptable condition. We need to have that better spelled out. So I do believe we have the right to inspect, and I can verify it in the regs. And if I can't find them, I'll check with council. But I do believe we have the right of inspection. It's just what we do with what we find that we're not really clear on.
But like I said, if we can do 10 houses or whatever, that'll give us a much better idea of really how to attack it for next year. I mean, that would be my recommendation, to take 10 houses that we think is suspected and go from there.
Like it. Sounds like a good place to start. And
Which, Bob, I have an action item. After you finish your report, we can throw some of this in the action item.
very good.
All right.
So Barbara, is there a schedule for this at the moment, or is this?
No, I was hoping we would just get the policies all in line, but if we want to move forward, I would still need council's assistance on the right of entry and the language we want on it to protect us. So I have down as a to-do to contact council for the form.
Okay, yeah, I would be curious to hear what they say about that.
Okay.
And what's next, Barbara?
Billing, I just wanted to give everyone an update that Paula has worked very hard for this Q2 billing to try to, as best she can, automate a lot of what was usually manually checking. So she's done a lot of work. This one, it dragged out billing more because she was busy setting up programs. So the trust will be for Q3, but at this point, we're just kind of sitting on what she has done. She's got very good hopes for Munilink, for her program versus Munilink that we were planning to go to, which the collectors had an issue with anyway, so we would have had to work that out. So stay tuned, but kudos to Paula on the work that she did what she did was avoid us having to enter any meter readings. We had it automated for the water district. Now she's got both Leominster, Fitchburg water customers and also our irrigation meters that are able to be uploaded automatically. So she's very pleased. She believes it's gonna save a lot of time and a lot of manual checking. So just
Hmm.
that's it. Kudos to Paula, and stay tuned whether we're gonna need to do Munilink or not.
Absolutely. So this is.
Good job, Paula.
doesn't even,
That's right.
great, yeah, great job, Paula. So this is without any extra expense. She got all this done without having an outside program.
Correct.
Wow. That's impressive.
So
Hmm.
what Munilink did was take so many of, was to reduce the multiple databases that we were using between Excel and Access and Munis to monitor and get through billing. So she's reduced it so that we hopefully just take Excel out, and she's uploading automatically into Access and Access into Munis. So it's slick. So fingers crossed.
Hey,
Excellent.
Mr. Chair, and again, kudos to Paula, and yet I can't even forward an email, so I don't know how Paula does all that. I'm gonna have to have her be our tech support too for our phones.
I'm lucky I can Zoom. And that's only because there's a link on the agenda I just touched.
Amazing.
All right.
All right, and then FY '23 budget, I did send out to everyone. You should have it. Looking good, we're marching right along. Some items that are yearly expensive have already posted, and we're still ahead, so far, so good.
Mr. Chair, if I could, I have a question on the budget. Are we, what do you have in there for Bill for his program? For the maintenance program?
Well, we have 20,000 for our regular infrastructure account, I think, right? Let me just verify.
Yeah, but we had that at 50 at one time.
Right, and or did we have it at 100 and it was backed off to 50? I have a total of 64,000 in infrastructure,
Right. We're
and
gonna
then we
look
had
at it.
20,000 in engineering. So, I don't have my subcategories on that one form, but we still have.
I think we lost Bill. Is Bill still here?
Yeah, it looks like he's gone. Yeah.
He is gone. Yep. He
Is he-
just texted, sorry, my
Oh.
computer died.
Oh.
So,
My thoughts on that, Dave, is that if it looks like we need to add to it, I mean, you could certainly do it on almost any upcoming meeting, I would think. And if Bill has, we should talk to him about his plans coming up regarding that, and see where our budget fits with that, with his plans and what areas he plans to address.
Yeah, I would like an update from our DPW director as far as what has the action plan been, and have we accomplished everything that was set out? And we know Cameron was one of the big issues that we talked about. So we're going to be looking at Whalum. It should be in the budget to camera those lines. But I am concerned that we haven't talked about it for a while, but that doesn't mean the business doesn't keep on going. So I think for our next meeting, I would request to put on the agenda an update from the DPW director on where are we at our maintenance program,
okay.
especially with generators in winter coming up. Go ahead, Barb.
I do want to just interject. We've got, Bill's been working on both. We're talking with Al Packard about wet wells cleaning, which is done once a year. And he's working up to that. He's got a contractor lined up. In the maintenance plan is jetting the lines, basically 12% of the entire system each year. So Bill's already working on that. He's been calling. We've always used just a few vendors. Bill is just reaching out to other ones that he was aware of. So both jetting and wet wells will be addressed within the next several weeks, I would say.
But I guess my concern is we've been very fortunate with the weather. But how do our generators look? Are they all tuned up, ready to go for the winter?
Yep.
I haven't heard anything about the generators. So Again, that's all part of the maintenance. I think this board wants an update on what's going on.
Okay. We do contract with Weld, or that is who our subcontractors or CTE advises, and they have done major preventive maintenance just towards I think in the spring, and did a lot of work. I can send out reports that were done. So
And I
the
think,
generators have been kept up to also as far as,
I think, Mr. Chair, maybe, and I don't know if you remember, Mr. Chair, I know Mike does, but we used to get reports like once a month on how the pump stations are running or anything like that. I mean, we haven't got anything about the business itself as far as how the pump stations are going. Are there any shutdowns, burnouts, power failures, anything like that? You know, that's something I think I would like to know. I don't know about how you guys feel, but I mean, that's our bread and butter. I mean, we've been dealing with a lot of budgets and COVID. I understand that, but I think it's time to look at the business again and start looking at how we can change some policies. And this commission has done a great job. I mean, along with you and Paula, I mean, jumping over the billing alone is a great account. We've been trying to do that for 10 years, ever since we've been on the board. So things are looking good. It's just, I think we need to be informed a little bit more.
okay. And we did go through not only COVID, but changes of DPW directors. So
Oh,
we'll
I
get
know.
Bill up and running.
Trust me, I know. And companies too. I mean,
And
But I
yeah,
think, go ahead, Barbara.
I'm sorry. And actually, I did actually have on this, on my business manager report, that Al from Chad MP or CTE has offered a couple times, last couple times he's been in, he's asked if we'd like him to come to a meeting. So I wanted to ask you if you want him here. Should we wait for John to be back? Hopefully John would be back for the next one, but that Al has been asking about coming to a meeting and helping to fill you all in. So know
Well,
that
that would
they're
certainly-
asking about it.
That would certainly fill us in. I think it's a fantastic idea. What's everyone's thoughts on that?
well, I think it's in
Mike?
I think it's in the contract, Mr. Chair, isn't it, Barb? His contract was supposed to meet with us, what, twice a year, was it?
I
Yeah,
thought it
well,
was twice a year,
but
yeah.
we have to ask him. He's asking us this time. So
Yeah, well, I think that's what I'm talking about. We have to get kind of back into the basic again, and we have to guide ourselves back over. But I would wait till John comes back, which should be soon. So probably the first meeting in December, Mr. Chair, we may want to talk to them and get Bill updated on our maintenance program. I think we can kill two birds with one stone that way.
We should do that. Can we get that on the agenda, Bob?
Yep.
And reach out to Al, see if he's available, if possible. That would be great.
all right. The last one is just a Mead Tollerman invoice for 261.64 for basically, I believe it was just September. It was an mid-October bill that we just got for September services, and it had to deal with the 44 Northfield waiver and some of the assessment fees for the pond view. So, but not bad, 261.64.
Very good.
And then that was it.
Excellent. Are there any, other than what we've just discussed, any action items we need to address?
Yeah.
Everybody's aware.
Mr. Chair, I have one. The pipe inspections. Barb, do you remember when we did the smoke tests over in Whalen District?
Mhm.
What did we use as a mechanism to get into the houses? Didn't we have a policy already about the sewer department has a right to inspect the piping?
Right. Well, yes. We had the right to go on the premises. We put the smoke, remember they smoked the pipes and saw where there was exits, and we had the right to go into a home if we were able to see smoke. So I know we have the right of entry.
Yeah,
But
I
we
thought
we did send out letters, we put it in the paper, we did a lot of notice so that people were aware that there would be people wandering around their neighborhood.
yeah, but I thought we did a policy on that when we did all this. I thought we have a written policy, if you can check and see,
To inspect, yes.
which is what we'll be doing with the, I know we can't That's the next level to fix something on the property.
Right.
But I think we can do our inspections now without a big deal, I guess.
Yes.
That was it for me, Mr. Chair. Sorry.
No problem. Very good. Thank you. We're up to public comments. If there's any public that would like to make a comment, I don't see any public. If there's any chairman or staff that would like to add any additional comments, obviously we would like to say that we hope John heals fast and looking forward to having his return. That he heals quickly. Beyond that, does anybody have other public comments they'd like to make?
No,
You
exactly.
okay there, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, that was just a piece of my wife's desk, just knocked off by my foot. Keeping you all on your toes.
Mr. Chair, if I can, I have a couple of public comments. One would be pancake breakfast tomorrow morning between 8 and 10 at the senior center. So Bob, you should go to that. I'm telling you, I'll buy you breakfast tomorrow. And the other one would be is that the Lions Club is having a meat raffle bingo Saturday night to be held at the Wanusknock Country Club. So I hope people can come out and support that and maybe win some kind of meat for the holidays coming up. And don't forget that Friday's Veterans Day. So that's been very dear to our hearts. So hug a veteran.
God bless all the veterans. All right, well, we have our upcoming sewer commission activities. We've got a November meeting, November 29th, 2022 at 6 p.m., regular meeting via Zoom. And then the meeting after that will be December 13th, 2022 at 6 p.m.
And
Also via
company.
Zoom. And other than that, I would like to ask if there's any motions to adjourn.
So move.
Okay. And could I have a second to that?
I'll second that.
All right. Having been motioned and second, Dave,
Aye. Sorry.
Mike,
Aye.
and I for myself. And that would be all for us, Lunenburg, on this nice short meeting. And thank you, everybody, for your attendance and your help this evening.
Mr. Chair, you did a great job tonight. Thank you very much. You did a good job.
Good night, Lunenburg.
Thank you, sir. Good night, everybody.
Night,
All
everyone.
right. Good night, Bob.
Night.
Thank you, Barb.